Hi, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Proud to live in the greatest country in the world. Unfiltered opinions, no PC discussion here. Agree, disagree, hate it, love it, it's all good. Sit back and enjoy some unfiltered commentary. We discuss politics, culture, interviews, and more. Your comments are always welcome. Please help the channel by hitting that subscribe button. Doesn't cost a thing. And as always, thanks for your support. Hi folks, welcome back to part 2 of what I call How Did We Get Here? And I'm going to say up front, and it's no big surprise that I am a very, very strong Trump supporter. But I think those of you that even hate Donald Trump can listen to facts and dissect them. And I think the intelligent ones can see past their biases. And this is part 2 of How Did We Get Here? And Russian collusion hoax. Now, it started from even really before Trump was elected with the illegal wiretaps, and they were illegal. There's absolutely nobody that can possibly say they were. It was based on a lie, built on a lie, lied to the FISA courts, lied to the judges, and I never went along with the Patriot Act years ago when it was put in. Secret courts in the United States, to me, just put off so many alarm bells, so many red flags, that the one consistency through the ages, and at least the history of the United States, if not the world, is that people suck, and they will use things to go after the people they don't like. And the FISA courts is a classic example where they received secret warrants. I'll say up front, I wish, it looks like it's not going to work out for President Trump, that before he leaves office, he declassifies all of this. And I mean all of it. As the one guy said before Trump leaves to the deep state people, break all their toys. Declassify all of it. Expose these monsters for what it really are. They would use a secret court to spy on a presidential campaign. That's like stuff in movies and third world countries do. Have we really gone to this level? This low level? But anyway, it started based on a lie, built on a lie, now legal warrants. And as time went on, Donald Trump pulled the inside straight, and he beat Hillary Clinton. And no one was more happier than I. And it started, the Russian collusion, almost immediately, if not before. Here it is. He won because Putin helped him. He won because Putin helped him. I think the only evidence they came up with is some Russian operatives bought $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 worth of Facebook ads, and that supposedly changed millions of people. Believe me, if it was that easy and that cheap, candidates would have done that a long time ago, but obviously it's laughable. But here's the part that's really the evil part. They knew there was nothing there. And now here you get like guys on the top right there like Schiff, and on the bottom right, Schiff, who I got to say, honestly, and this is a very high bar to go over, could be one of the biggest scumbags in the U.S. Congress. Sat there and lied. There's not telling the whole truth. There's twisting around facts. There's those things that people do, me included, depending on the situation. I've seen direct evidence from witnesses. The man colluded with the Russians. He's a Russian agent. Who was the other congressman there? I wish I had his picture there. Stilwell, another scumbag. And I apologize to scumbags around the world when I say that, who sat there on Tucker Carlson, and as Tucker Carlson is playing devil's advocate, as newsmen are supposed to do, based on this craziness. This theory was so off base. I mean, nothing against the InfoWars guys, but this is stuff that even Alex Jones couldn't have thought up. and sat there, and Stalwell turned to Tucker Carlson and said, well, you're a Russian agent too. I'm like, the number one cable news show, because we don't disagree, you're a Russian agent. It was out of control. These guys just went nuts. Now, was that a short walk for them? Probably. And this went on and on and on, week after week. Then finally comes the hearings, all the investigations, and the tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. But more than important than just the money, the people that it tied up in Congress. And it was just distraction to the presidency. I mean, Trump's a pretty high stress individual. He is. It's, he's been doing it his whole life. He's immune to a lot of stress, or so it seems, but he's not Superman by any means. And it must have affected him. And the mental time and just what distraction of doing the work of the country. And that went on, and that went on, and that went on. And it made it even worse during the midterms when the Democrats took over. And then they really ramped it up. Here's the part that's amazing to me. Lying to the American people. I saw their pundits and all the people, all the Congress people, and all the even ex-Republicans, and all the deep state people, Brennan and all of them, all say they have direct evidence. They went on CNN, MSNBC, you name it, they were on it, saying that Trump is a Russian agent, blah, 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 blah. As they say in Charlie Brown, the adults, wah, 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 wah. But here's the amazing part. Here's the part that the progressives and the leftists can't talk away. When all these same monsters were put under oath, amazingly enough, they were asked directly, is there any evidence of collusion between Donald Trump or his campaign or anybody involved in the campaign in winning the American election? And every single one said no. Here's the deal. You can make a lot of money appearing on cable news shows dozens and dozens of times. They pay pretty good. And you can lie your ass off all you want. Can't sue because you're a public figure. You can say whatever you want. So then when it comes to being sworn in, all of a sudden they tell the truth because they would go to jail. They would commit perjury. Under threat of perjury is when they sign the oath. Isn't that amazing? So here's the way it works, folks. You can lie like hell and make lots of money. But when you're put under oath, you have to tell the truth. It's amazing to me. And it's not like they twisted words around when they were on these talk shows, on these cable news shows, on the Sunday afternoon shows, and you name it, podcast everywhere. All these lies, and they weren't distortions of the truth. They were actual outright fabrication / lies. And they all knew it. They all knew it. Hey, I like money like the next guy. It paid pretty good. But what good did it do? Did it make him really that much money? It's amazing to me. The hatred. Trump derangement syndrome was actually going to be written in the future. I think people in the psychology business are going to actually call it that. Trump derangement syndrome. Now, granted, President Trump certainly brings out the worst in people through his personality, his way of being combative constantly, the way he says things. Yeah, I can see why it would bring out resistance, but this is way off the hook. But it's amazingly how that works. And so the American people had to sit through this day after day, week after week, month after month, relentlessly, 24/7. And the work of the American people wasn't getting done. This was all laying the groundwork for the impeachment hoax. Lie built upon lie, built upon hoax, built upon hoax. I mean, this is like a banana republic does. The only difference was we make it look legitimate. And it wasn't. The whole thing, and God knows what harm it did to the American people and their trust in our government. Half think Trump's a monster, and half thinks Trump got railroaded. It's amazing to me why they would want to do this. All for Joe Biden? No, they didn't know that he was going to be the candidate, or did they care? They had an assortment of, we'll call them candidates. What a group. Remember that group? What was there, 15, 16 of them, 18 of them? Oh, my God, it was. And, of course, we got the two with some of the lowest percentages, former Vice President Joe Biden and current Senator Kamala Harris. I doubt if any of them broke 10%. I don't think Kamala Harris got 5%, but here we are. And it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. And the way that it was done. And I used to think at the beginning that these guys like Schiff and Stilwell and Pelosi and all those, they're just trash. I'm sorry they are. They're in incredibly powerful positions and positions of trust. They could do a lot of good for the American people, and they chose to do this. At the beginning, I thought they might have at least believed it in part. But then, of course, as things unfolded and facts came out, and there weren't any because nothing happened. There wasn't any evidence. Then I began to wonder, do they know they're lying, or do they actually believe this? I mean, any psychologist will tell you if you say anything over and over and over and over and over and over, it does change your brain. It's like a cult. You start to believe that the world is flat, even though you know it's not. And all the evidence shows that it's not. And you still don't believe it. And that's the way it was, folks. So there it is, Russian collusion. And I'll tell you the truth, you know who's laughing their asses off? Putin and his guys. Some of the old Eastern Bloc countries, North Korea, the Chinese, they are laughing their asses off that their number one adversary, the number one guy that would give them an incredibly hard time, is now being accused of this. So, did Russia interfere in our election? Indirectly, yeah, that's the weird part. But who helped them along? The Democrats. They're the ones that were in collusion with Russia to do all this because it ended up helping Russia out tremendously. It's just the way it is. And whether they believe it now, I don't even know. I think they do. And that's the part that scares the hell out of me. If they can believe this stupidity, what else are they capable of believing that's absolutely not true? That will hurt the American people, which is the important thing in the end. What happens to the American people? Well, that's my take on the Russian collusion hoax. Let me know what yours is. Say something in the comments. Even if you agree that there was one, there's absolutely no evidence. It'd be interesting to see how you're going to defend it. But until the next episode, folks, till next time, goodbye and good luck.